Live on the BBC, Trump sends another 2,000 National Guards and 700 Marines to LA on the fourth day of unrest. California Governor Gavin Newsom, who is suing the Trump administration, calls Trump dictatorial. Yeah, I'd suggest we don't pay too much attention to Mr. Newsom on account of the fact he appears to make about as much sense as the manifesto that a homeless tramp daubs on the side of a petrol station wall using his own feces. Okay, I've read more coherent scribblings in a maniac's diary. Yeah, if you pull out Charles Manson's scribblings and there's like pictures of women with knives in their head and disabled people on fire, next to them, there at least might be one or two sentences that make sense, which is something Gavin Newsom's never managed. Also, let's just have a look at the comparison that the mainstream media is making. Insurrection, mostly peaceful. You do remember the insurrection, don't you? Yeah, the violent insurrection, when the most well-armed people, right-wing Republicans and hillbillies, in the most well-armed nation, America, launched an insurrection, a credible attempt to replace the democratically elected government, and absolutely none of them brought a firearm. Okay, makes loads of sense, doesn't it? An insurrection. I want to see blokes in DPM pepper potting across the White House lawn, putting down covering fire, using grenade launchers. That thing on the left there is a bunch of people walking around escorted by coppers. It was more peaceful than your average queue in Flamingo Land. To American viewers, that's the British version of a theme park. But yeah, it's a British theme park. It's not like Six Flags. Yeah, Disney World, they've got orca whales and polar bears. Flamingo Land, there isn't even any flamingos. They just spray painted some ducks pink. But I'm rambling. This video is going to be a brief collection of some footage from the mostly peaceful left-wing riot, juxtaposed some footage from the definitely not peaceful, full-blown insurrection attempt by a load of hillbillies who didn't bring any guns, because it makes loads of sense, that, doesn't it? Right, we've all seen the images, mostly peaceful, according to the mainstream media. Well, here's a supercut of what the mostly peaceful riot looked like.
Get down, fool, get down, get down.
What was that? 30 seconds. Mostly peaceful Molotov cocktail production line, exploding cars, rocket launches at coppers, breeze block throwing at police cars, and general running amok. Okay, that's what we had. Now I'm going to show you a few clips of the very, very violent, credible attempt to conquer the nation, even though the nation's got Navy SEALs and Apache gunships, and the hillbillies are armed with, well, I think one of them had a carrot, and they shook the carrot menacingly, which is why a big fat copper emptied a magazine into an unarmed woman's face. Yeah, it makes loads of sense, doesn't it? Oh, this is a good clip, this is a good one. Here we see some rare footage of 5 police officers fighting desperately for their lives against an angry mob. Have a look. Okay. Yeah, oh no, there's a policeman leading them in. Oh, he's moving the crowd. Oh, there's another cop at the front. They're moving the crowd out of the way. Oh, okay. All right. What, you mean they're just walking and taking pictures? Where's all the Molotov cocktails? Is that a grenade? Oh, that's not. No, that's not a grenade launcher. That's a prosthetic limb. Okay. All right. Doesn't seem like anything's going on there. It's, dare I say, almost a little bit boring. Well, this is weird, isn't it? And we've all seen much worse than that. Do you remember that shaman they stitched up who got led around the Capitol building? and politely shook hands with the police officers. And then they arrested him and locked him up for 4 years. You remember that poor bastard?
Virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape. The tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They acted as his tour guides. Here's video of Chansley in the Senate chamber. Capitol Police officers take him to multiple entrances and even try to open locked doors for him. We counted at least 9 officers who were within touching distance of unarmed Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down. Chansley understood that Capitol Police were his allies. Video shows him giving thanks for them in a prayer on the floor of the Senate. Watch.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us in this building.
Contrast the reality of what Jacob Chansley did in the Capitol building on January 6th, the indisputable facts recorded on video, some of which has never before been seen, with the depiction of Jacob Chansley that you've seen in the media for more than 2 years. He's a terrorist, they said. He should be killed.
Shoot him. Yeah. Shoot him. Like,
Shoot him. Yeah, okay then. So, okay, Baldy. Every single thing these people say is a mentally ill, deranged rambling that is the exact opposite of the truth. The interaction, which got me off this platform for daring to postulate the idea that maybe it wasn't a serious attempt to take over the country by unarmed people, right? That was unsayable a few years ago, and they lied and they covered it up for years, and now we see the truth. And lo and behold, 5 years pass, they think you're as thick as they are and you forgot all of it. And now they're saying blokes throwing Molotov cocktails at coppers are definitely just peaceful protesters. And foreign invaders standing on burnt out cars with foreign flags, wearing masks, LARPing as mad mask enthusiasts with shit merchandise on, they're peaceful protesters. And the poor old shaman who said prayers for the coppers is a violent killer. And obviously Baldy here advocates shooting him in the head on national television, and that's perfectly acceptable. But 5 years, if I said, it doesn't really look like a violent attempt to take over the country, 2-week ban. Yeah, you can't say that. You can't have an opinion that we don't agree with, but you're allowed to be a big fat, bald, chinless wonder. Couldn't knock the fluff off a cappuccino, couldn't flick the skin off a rice pudding, couldn't fight my granny, and she died in 2021. He can say it, but you can't. So I don't even know if this will be acceptable, because wrong thing's not acceptable. Remember, promotion of murder is acceptable if you have the right opinions. And politely pointing out that people who say such things have got the intellectual capacity of a chicken McNugget. If you say that, maybe that's going too far. We'll see. We'll see. All right, that's all I've got for you today. These are the facts. You know it and I know it. All right, the truth shall set you free, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for liking it and sharing it as always. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.